the wallet. So this is a professional grade portfolio manager where you can see all your information about the properties or the tax liens that you're acquiring and how they are performing. So basically what you see is the total money invested, how many active tax liens or tax deeds or properties that you have, the total ROI on those investments that you made, and if there are any upcoming deadlines, important deadlines, you can also see them here. You have a graphic view of everything on the investments that you made by state, for example, property types, if there are single family, land, commercial properties. You have also some statistics, how many tax liens, how many tax deeds, the average interest rate, the average investment amount. And then you can also see this graph of how the portfolio is performing based on invested capital and the earned capital. You can also see a performance summary, success rate. You can see the average days held, which is very important to do some more analysis. How many that are completed, how many are in progress. You can see your active portfolio here, the money invested, how many profit you are still outstanding, for example, or in first year profit. The estimated ROI on the active portfolio and the annualized ROI. So you can see how your overall portfolio is performing during the years. So here you can see the tax liens or tax deeds. So all your active properties that you have available at the moment, if they are active, they're already redeemed, for example, you can see them in list view or you can see them in a grid view. So I prefer to get grid view, for example. You can see where the liens is located, where the property is located. If there's an address or certificate number, you can insert it here. How much you invested, what the interest rate was when you purchased it. So this is an over-the-counter type of tax lien, for example, the estimated return. And then you see also the timeline, which is pretty interesting because you see I just purchased it and the redemption will be here and the foreclosure and the deed. So you can see the overall timeline of that specific tax lien. You can also see the assessed value, for example, and you can get some more information. If you click on it, you will be brought to a page where you have all the more in-depth information about that specific tax lien. So you can see still the information above, how many money that has been invested, the total interest rate, return, and the number of days held until now. You can edit some details here, which is interesting. You can select between tax liens, tax deeds. This is obviously a tax lien, so we already inserted a lot of information here. Municipality, property address. You can put in the lot block or APN number, for example, for some states that's interesting or mandatory. The assessor link, Zillow link, for example, Google Map link. You can put in all that information. You can put in also financial details about this tax lien, for example, the invested amount, the interest rate, and all the subsequent taxes, for example, for tax lien that you purchased in New Jersey, where you have subsequent taxes. You can insert them here, and it will be calculated inside of the profitability of that tax lien. Okay, so you can also insert some reminders. So those are very interesting because you can say, for example, when the redemption is due, or if you need like an annual deadline or a monthly deadline, like in New Jersey, where you can purchase the subsequent taxes, you can put in reminders here and you will receive an email with that reminder in order to never miss a deadline or important deadline for your tax liens, which is very, very critical when you invest in tax liens. And other thing here, we can put in the redemption date, the foreclosure date, for example. Those are also important information, or that you have the correct timeline set up in order to keep track of all your information. And then obviously the last but not least, we have a notes section where we put in all the notes. For example, if we have some updates on this tax liens, we can put them in here. And also we can add some important documents. And this is critical because when you're managing a lot of tax liens, you will be managing a lot of documents, deeds, you can receipts, for example, for your tax payments. You can add them here and you have everything inside of your tax lien page for your specific tax lien. So I think this is very, very important. And we have added this feature because professional tax lien investors, but also not professional tax lien investors, need this feature more than ever in order to keep everything organized. So guys, this is a professional grade feature which only very expensive softwares or tax lien or portfolio manager softwares have. And you can have this for a very small monthly price or annual price and never miss a deadline ever again for your tax liens, and also measure professionally your portfolio performance. So I really love this feature inside of FastLien.